Monday, April 4th. No, wait, April 7th. I was looking at the 4 and dumb fucking me. Oh, jeez. It is Monday, April 7th, 2025, and this is Matt's World Wrestling with Comics, Hot Topic Monday. I am your host, Matthew Barris, and as always, it is my world, and you all just live in it. And so, as I mentioned before, we are going to be making some changes to the show. Thursday will permanently be where you can find the shows. It'll be once a week. And also, I'll be making another change. I'm actually swapping in one segment for another segment. As you all know, here on this show, I do top 10s for both wrestling and for comics. Well, I decided that I am going to alternate between the two. Yes, I'm going to alternate between the two, meaning the top 10 list will just be one, meaning 1 week it'll be a top 10 for wrestling, and the next week it'll be a top 10 for comics. And so there will no longer be two top 10s, they will only be one. Or, as the old saying goes in the movie Highlander, there can be only one. God, I love that. And also, I will be bringing back Coliseum Classics Review. Yep, I am going to bring that back. So, yep, it will be back on the show, and it will be back the week after WrestleMania. So, next Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday will be the last week of the 3 days a week show, and it will be shrunk down to once a week. So there you go. Now let's get into what happened on Monday Night Raw. And actually, yeah, there's some other news, wrestling news I'm going to get into soon. But first, we're going to start with Monday Night Raw. We had the contract signing, and it is official. We have a three-way dance for the WWE World Women's Championship. We have Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. And we had Rhea and Bianca sign their contracts, and then they were going at each other. Heard a little bit of a mixed reaction for Bianca of like boo and yay. Mostly yays for Rhea Ripley. And then Io Sky, just when it looked like she was going to leave the ring, she did a springboard dropkick on Rhea and Bianca, and then signed the contract. And they're playing it up that that Io is just like being seen as a third wheel, like she's not really a factor in this match. And these girls just want at each other. And now, having said all that, Io Sky is a great champion. I like her as a babyface and as a heel. But I'm going to have to say she does drop the title. She is going to drop the title to Rhea Ripley. It's a foregone conclusion. It looks like it. The fans more so want Rhea to win than Bianca this year. Bianca has won two WrestleManias in a row. She's won. She's pretty much at this point like undefeated at WrestleMania. So actually, I think it's. Wait, is it two, or is it? Yeah, it's two. Yeah, two WrestleManias for two. No, wait, one, two. No, sorry, three. Yeah, for three WrestleManias, she has been undefeated, and it looks like her undefeated streak will come to an end. So this will be the one WrestleMania where she will not leave with the gold, and that's okay. I mean, because now you can have Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair at Backlash in St. Louis. As for Io, I mean, I don't know where she goes. I mean, does she go back to tag teams? Maybe. I mean, is Asuka gonna come back after WrestleMania? What about Kairi Sane? Is she gonna come back after WrestleMania? I mean, we'll see what happens. But right now, it looks like they're building towards a feud between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. So that looks like it's gonna be the feud and going forward. So there. We also had some celebrities in the house tonight. We had Bert Kreischer, who has a comedy special coming soon on Netflix. He actually, he was actually backstage with American Made, and then we saw him with the Alpha Academy. We saw him taking off his shirt. Jeez. Oh god, taking off his shirt. Damn. And oh, sorry, I'm yawning. I actually didn't get. I got little to no sleep last night, and I'm getting plenty of sleep right after this podcast because I'm yawning so much. So please excuse me. And then we had Lyra Valkyrie versus Bailey for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It was a good match, and Lyra, of course, won. And then we saw Bailey get upset, and just like when it looked like she was going to leave the ring angry, then she came back to the ring and gave Lyra a hug. And of course, they're one of a few tag teams that's going to wrestle in the Gauntlet match on SmackDown for the number one contendership for the women's tag team titles. I mean, that Gauntlet looks like it could be anybody. I mean, I want to say maybe Renee and Maxine Dupree probably win it, but then again, I would love to see Bailey and Lyra go at each other as well. And Bailey has been on a losing streak. So, I mean, if this is to build towards Lyra and Bailey at WrestleMania, then I think Bailey is gonna turn heel again. Yeah, she's definitely gonna turn heel again. So I think that's what's gonna happen there at WrestleMania. So, and then we had the 6-man tag between the Creed Boys and El Grande Americano against the LWO. And we saw little shades by El Grande Americano, aka Chad Gable. Little shades of Mid-South when the assassin put like a foreign object in his mask and headbutted the junkyard dog, which you can definitely tell. I watch a lot of old school wrestling. And he did that. He did to Rey Mysterio, headbutted Rey Mysterio, but he did a diving headbutt to Dragon Lee, got the win, and Rey Mysterio later on wanted a match with El Grande Americano at WrestleMania, and the match was granted, and so we're going to get that at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio, of course, wins this match. I mean, he's going to win this match and finally put an end to the El Grande Americano. So, yeah, he's gonna put it into this once and for all. And we also had the New Day beat the Vikings. Yeah, the Viking Raiders via disqualification, but they did not walk out with the tag team titles, so they're definitely gonna run this back. Will they run it back at WrestleMania? Maybe, maybe not. So we'll see. And then we had Gunther and Jay Uso come out. And the thing is, when Jay came out through the audience, while everybody was yeeting, as I was do the yeet, 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 you know. Um, you know, Jay was just like complete, utterly focused. He was like straight business, no shucking, no jiving, and took the microphone and just cut one great promo talking about his mom. Asked him, how do you let your brother uh, Jimmy get beat up like that, and and Jay was just speaking with such passion. He's saying, I'm gonna pray to God, ask him to forgive me for the man I'm about to become. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm gonna do it for Jimmy, and I'm gonna take that world heavyweight title. And that's what Jay needed. This needs to now be personal. Now it is personal. I mean, this is, like I said before last week, this was straight out of Rocky 4. This is straight out of Rocky 4. If he dies, he dies. You know? So now we're going to get that, Rocky type fight. It has that big fight feel. And I'm looking forward to that match. And Jay Uso is going to win the title. And Soul Monster brought something up, because one fan wrote about, his disappointment for Jay Uso. Some people have kind of cooled off on Jay Uso, not me. And Soul Monster said, like, yes, he's going to win the title. I mean, it's very obvious. But it doesn't have to be a long title reign, and I really agree. I think that if especially now with Kevin Owens out, and again, I'm gonna get a little more into that later. Patience, my children. Uh, this could be a time for when Sami Zayn uh, wins the Money in the Bank, and then he cashes in on his friend Jay. Yeah, he cashes in on his friend Jay, like maybe not at Money in the Bank, but maybe at SummerSlam. Where he says like, I'm gonna challenge you at SummerSlam for the title, and because they're good friends, and this could lead to a rivalry. Two friends turning into rivals. So like this is gonna be it's gonna be an interesting situation here, um, and as for Gunther, and Solo Monster brought this up too. Gunther, I think he has to go through a thing where like he really starts to down himself because he's like, I lost because he's been calling Jay like, you're a mascot and people pleaser, whatever. And once he loses to Jay, he kind of starts to down himself. He's like, well, I lost two WrestleManias in a row. I lost the title, and he starts to doubt himself. He comes down on himself, and then he has to build himself back into that monster, that machine. I mean, because it has been proven that he can be beaten. He was beaten in NXT, and he got beat last year at WrestleMania for the IC title. But it's just a matter of how much punishment you're willing to accept, and how long are you willing to go. And he needs to build himself back up. He's got to build himself back up. But first, we got to see him go through the down part, the depression, and what have you. I mean, does this mean we turn him back? We turn him into a baby face? No, I can't see him being a baby face. I mean, he's one of those heels, like kind of like Rick Rude when Rick Rude was in World Class, and WWE and then WCW. Like he's like one of those heels where it's like you can't turn him into a babyface even if you wanted to. I mean, he's just at that point right now. He's a destroyer. He's Ivan Drago. He is, as far as Monday Night Raw goes, the final boss. He's the final boss of Monday Night Raw. So, I don't see him becoming a babyface, but I do see him going through to a point where he doubts himself and he has to build himself back up. So that I can definitely see. And then we had Penta versus Dominic Mysterio, and you know, actually, I really wasn't paying attention to the last few minutes. I was writing something, and then Braun Breaker came out and just destroyed Dominic, destroyed Carlito, destroyed Penta, and then Finn Balor came up, gave him his finishing maneuver, and just took him out. Braun Breaker got back up, was going to spear him, but nope, he got out of there. And of course, earlier it was made official. It'll be a four-way match between Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta. Yeah. And, I think it's Penta's time now. I think he should have the Intercontinental title. And again, just like with Jey Uso, it doesn't have to be a long title reign. I think he can hold on to the belt until SummerSlam, and then, he can chase the Intercontinental title again. Right now he's a fan favorite, so you got to put the IC belt on him. Like him and Braun Breaker can have like a series of matches. And plus, the other thing is that can build up Braun Breaker, that can build him up to the world title. It's time for Braun Breaker to take the next step, I believe. It's time for him to take that next step. It's time for him to get in contention for the world title. We've seen him be like, the NXT, the NXT champion, two-time NXT champion, two-time NXT champion, former tag champion. We've seen him be a two-time Intercontinental champion. Now it's time for him to be the world champion. It's time for him to get the brass ring, and it starts at WrestleMania. He's a beast, and losing to a luchador. Some people say like, "Oh, this doesn't make sense." He's a monster, and he loses to a guy like Penta, who just came to WWE. No, not necessarily. He's the fan favorite. He's the one who's, fans are starting to get behind. They're, starting to push his merchandise. So it's only obvious that they get behind Penta, and Braun Breaker, he can build himself back up to get in contention for the world title. And, that could also be, and as he's doing that, he can go through a feud with Braun Breaker, like him and, Braun, yeah. Braun Breaker can go through a feud with Gunther. Like those two can trade matches back and forth, and Braun wins, and Gunther, he goes down on him. He really feels down on himself, and he wants to get back into title contention, and you start to build him up there. Like you really start to see the downward spiral when he loses to Braun Breaker. And that's how I see it, but at WrestleMania, Penta walks out with the Intercontinental Championship. Also, Tony Hinchcliffe was doing some commentary as well. He did commentary for the Viking Raiders and New Day match, or I should say the New Day. So it was nice to see him there as well. And then finally, we had Paul Heyman out there to discuss what happened on SmackDown. As you all know, he will be in the corner for CM Punk. That is the favor, which was finally revealed. Thank God. And then Seth Rollins came out. And Seth Rollins, was talking about how, like, neither one of those guys give a damn about him. They both left him to be alone and beat up and stuff. And then, he turned CM Punk's own words onto Paul Heyman. He said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Well, how much are you worth? And he pushes him and goes, are you worth this much? And then he pushes him again, are you worth this much? And then he bitch slaps him. He just was, are you worth that much? And he was like, come on, how much are you worth? And Paul Heyman grabs him, and he just goes, don't you ever put your hands on me again. And it was, and Paul, dropped the microphone, and Seth dropped the microphone, and it was like, uh-oh, he done fucked up now. He done fucked up now. And Seth pushed him in the corner, and then we heard CM Punk's music. CM Punk comes out, tries to make the save. He takes it right to Seth Rollins. He goes for a curb stomp right on the ring steps. He misses. And then Punk comes back in, and then Rollins gives him a curb stomp. And as Heyman is, laying down, trying to get Seth up, going like, oh, is anything? CM Punk up. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, Punk, get up, get up. And looked like Seth was going to curb stop him, but he, but Paul Heyman moved out of the way. And Seth kneeled down, grabbed the microphone, and said, now you owe me a favor. So, what is that going to entail? I do not know. But it is interesting, and it was a great way to go off the air for Monday Night Raw. So, that was just amazing. That was just incredible. And, I'm really looking forward to this WrestleMania. People have talked about, this WrestleMania being underwhelming and stuff like that. It is a little, and I agree. I've heard that the tickets, haven't really been like sold out. They haven't sold out the stadium yet, the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, but I think it'll still do some pretty big numbers because it's Vegas, and at the end of the day, it's WrestleMania. So Triple H has done a pretty good job, with PLEs and stuff. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think it'll still be a good WrestleMania. Not every show can be a sellout. You can't win them all. So, but I think it'll still be a great WrestleMania. In my opinion, at least. And now we're gonna get into the collected editions. These are the graphic novels that will be coming out tomorrow, April 9th. April 9th. That's Wednesday. So could be the 9th, or it could be the 8th, or whatever day you get new books. And I'm still waiting on my Dark Siege book. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Siege of Darkness. I'm still working on. Yeah, still waiting on my Siege of Darkness. God, I'm bad with my words today. Probably lack of sleep. Anyways, for Marvel Comics, we have the Epic Collection Spider-Man Venom. So, yep, this is what introduced the world to Venom. This is a new printing of the Epic Collection. So, yep, we get to see Todd McFarlane's drawings as well. Collection includes Amazing Spider-Man number 295 to 310, 1963. Amazing Spider-Man Annual from 1964, number 22. Web of Spider-Man 1985, number 33. Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 1976, number 133. And so, if you are a fan of Venom, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, this is definitely going to be the book for you. Next, we have Annihilation 2099. Yep, this is the collection. And the collection includes 2099, number 1 through 5. So if you're a fan of Annihilation, then this is definitely for you. We have Avengers Forever. And this collects the Avengers Forever storyline, which is number 1 through 12. So definitely going to want to get that. Next, we have the Merce with the Mouth, Deadpool. And Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again. And the collection includes Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again, number 1 through 5. I think this is a new printing, I believe. Yeah, so Definitely going to want to pick that up. Next, we have Marvel Universe Volume 2 Master Edition. And the collection includes Master Edition number 1 through 36. So this is a new printing, of the collection here. This was released in the 90s. So if you already have a copy and you want a new copy, then I suggest you go get this one. Next, we have Ron, the original Marvel Years, Omnibus Volume 1. Collection includes ROM number 1 through 29, and from 1979, and Power Man and Iron Fist from 1978, number 73. So I never really heard of ROM, so nah. Next, we have The Uncanny X-Men by Gail Simone, Volume 1, Red Wave. And the collection includes Uncanny X-Men 1 through 6. Material from X-Men number 35 from 2021. And Free Comic Book Day 2024, Blood Hunt X-Men. So if you're a fan of the Blood Hunt series, then you're definitely going to want to pick this up. And finally, we have Venom War, Wolverine and Deadpool. So this has all the Venom War stories for Wolverine and Deadpool. Collection includes Venom War Wolverine number 1 through 3, Venom War Deadpool 1 through 3, and finally we have Venom War Carnage. Yep, Carnage number 1 through 3. So yep, you're definitely gonna want to pick this up. And oh wait, I forgot another one. Finally, this is really final, promise. X Factor by Mark Russell, Volume 1. Please like and share. Kind of a unique title. The collection includes X Factor 2024, number 1 through 5. So, kind of an odd name for a title, but nah, it is what it is. So now we're going to get into some wrestling news. First and foremost, I did see Thea Vandell on Tamron Hall. Yep, Thea Vandell, aka Carmella, spouting off the same shit, and I stand by what I said. I've lost respect for her. This whole thing that WWE mistreated her or whatever, and like I said before, and you can go back and listen to my rant on it. If this was over, if she had complained about, her dead foot, then, okay, fine, I can see her argument for that. Because that would be some fucked up shit. I would also understand why WWE would also want to fire her, because it's like, well, you got dead foot, you can't wrestle anymore, so. And she did say that she wanted to work backstage, she wanted to work, do some stuff backstage, until her foot got better. And, they could have had her for commentary, but, she wouldn't keep her mouth shut. So, do I think that maybe she'll come back down the line? Maybe. Does she deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. But, if she's one of those wrestlers that just wants to keep burning a bridge, then I say not. And, and she says that, she's fine with Corey, still working in WWE. Well, the man's on thin ice. He's already on thin ice, and I will not be surprised if after WrestleMania they get rid of him. If he's still with us for 4 or 5 months from now, then I'll definitely be impressed. I mean, to not be fired, I mean, to have your wife and the mother of your kid, um, well, one of his kids, you know, to talk like that and still have a job, it's like, well, maybe NXT isn't so bad after all. Yeah. So that's where I stand on that. And also, some sad news coming out of SmackDown. Kevin Owens will need to have neck surgery, and thus his match with Randy Orton has been canceled, and that's kind of a shame. And he said that for a while that it had been nagging him. He talked about it on a podcast that he talked about it on a podcast. I forgot the name of it, but I heard about it on Solomonster, and he talked about it before it was released on Saturday. Yeah, last Saturday. And he said, like, he went and got doctors, and they said, well, you're just all right. you know, you know, and then a few months later, it started acting up again, and like around January, and then uh, and they were like, okay, yeah, you're seriously bad. It's seriously bad, and you're gonna need surgery. So now he's gonna need some surgery, and depending on how he actually recovers, I mean, we don't know when he's gonna come back. I mean, he says that it looks like he's wrestled his last match for 2025 and won't be back till 2026. But I mean, everybody heals differently, so I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen, and wish Kevin Owens all the best, and I hope that he gets better. Unfortunately, shit happens, and as Nick Aldis says, this is why they tell the fans, don't try this at home. Yes, do not try this at home. And I'm from the era of backyard wrestling as well. I never competed in it. I did want to, but now looking back to it, I'm just like, man, I'm so glad my dumbass didn't do that. I mean, there's a reason why they tell you don't try this at home. So there. But I hope Kevin Owens gets better eventually. And now we're going to get into the collected editions for DC Comics for April 9th, 2025. From the world of DC Comics, we have Absolute Green Lantern, Sinestro Corpse War. Not really that big on Green Lantern, but if you are, I suggest you go get this book. Next, we have the deluxe edition of Batman and Elmer Fudd. I'm a little kind of 50-50. 50% of me is curious. The other 50% is like, really? Batman and Elmer Fudd, having Elmer Fudd portrayed as a killer? But, I don't know. I mean, maybe if I read it and, take a good look at it, maybe I might change my mind. Plus, I can always get my money back. Next, we have Booster Gold, the complete 2007 series. The collection includes number 0 through 14 and 100,000, whatever. So, there you go. And next, we have another DC Finest on its way. We have DC Finest, Batgirl, Nobody Dies Tonight. This is the one that introduced Cassandra Cain as Batgirl. She became the new Batgirl at this time. The collection includes Batgirl number 7 through 27, Superboy number 85, and Supergirl 63. So if you're a fan of the Cassandra Cain Batgirl, you're definitely going to want to pick this up. And finally, we have Justice League by Scott Snyder and James Tynion, the fourth omnibus. I just love Scott Snyder. I mean, his work on Batman has just been awesome, and and stuff. And I'm still reading Batman, Black Mirror, and his work on it is just incredible. Collection includes Aquaman number 41 through 42, Teen Titans number 28, Justice League No Justice number 1 through 4, Justice League number 1 through 25, Justice League and Aquaman Drowned Earth Special number 1, Aquaman and Justice League Drowned Earth Special number 1, and we have The Batman Who Laughs number 1 through 7. Of course, there's already the Batman Who Laughs book, but if you have this, you still might want to pick up, this Justice League one, kind of complete the collection. And finally, we also have here in this one Justice League and Annual number 1. So this is like Scott Snyder's work on Justice League and stuff. So you're definitely gonna want to pick this up. And unfortunately, no, nothing really special from Indies Comics, so that's why I didn't write it down. And now we're gonna go into the first of my top 10. And as you all know, it is WrestleMania. Yep, this is WrestleMania season. And not much is known about celebrities who are going to be there. I mean, most likely, it looks like a foregone conclusion that Travis Scott is going to be there. Yeah, because he did the theme song. So it looks like he will most likely be there. And he'll get his receipt by Cody Rhodes. And so I made this list of the top 10 celebrities who I want to see at WrestleMania. Because, being a celebrity, it's one thing to be a celebrity, whether you're in music or sports or movies and TV. But to be at WrestleMania, is just the ultimate honor. And we've had a who's who of celebrities, from Mr. T to Lawrence Taylor. We've had Kid Rock, we've had Kim Kardashian, Vanessa Hudgens, Puff Daddy, Run DMC, Shaq, we've had Mike Tyson. The list just goes on and on and on and on and on. So, and also, by the way, still no word yet on a celebrity inductee. We have one more week before. Next week is the last week before WrestleMania. So, hopefully, we'll get in a celebrity induction. They gotta put Cyndi Lauper in. She deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But nonetheless, here are some celebrities who I want to see at WrestleMania. Coming in at number 10, of course, the California girl herself, Katy Perry. And Katy Perry, that's somebody who I would love to see at WrestleMania. Because she's also very funny. She's had some funny moments and stuff like that. And I can definitely see her doing some funny backstage segment at WrestleMania. I would love to see her do that, and I also would like to see her perform. She got to perform at the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl is a high honor. Yeah, it's the highest honor. But I think if not a close second, but above that would be WrestleMania, and I would love to see Katy Perry there at WrestleMania. Coming in at number 9, Aubrey Plaza. Yep. Aubrey Plaza is someone I would love to see at WrestleMania as well. I love her acting. Go back and watch the old episodes of The Office. Oh, man, she was just funny. And, and I've seen some movies that she's in, and she's cool in that, too. Granted, she's kind of been leaving the house a little bit, since the suicide of her husband. And actually, it turns out that that her and her husband were actually separated 4 months before he died, and that's I mean, that is kind of a shame, I mean, because, well, I think they were. I mean, the rumor is that they were separated, but, and, it is sad and stuff, and to see her, I mean, they had her on TMZ, I think it was either last week or a couple of weeks ago. She was like, walking in the hills with this producer she's worked with before. So it's nice to see that she's trying to get her life back and stuff. But she's somebody I can also see doing like a backstage segment at WrestleMania. I mean, she even did a Super Bowl commercial last year, not this year, but last year, and had Jade Cargill, splash her from the top rope. And I would love to see Aubrey do something like that. Absolutely. Coming in at number 8 is Eminem. Eminem, one of my favorite rappers of all time. I mean, he's one of my all-time favorites, top 10 rappers. And he's somebody that I would most definitely love to see at WrestleMania. I can see him just like being there, performing, rapping, and also I would like to see him get in the ring too. I want to see him get in the ring and like drop an elbow or something. Kind of like what Snoop has done in the past. But he is he is somebody that I would love to see at WrestleMania. I mean, it would have been cooler, back when he was at the peak of his career, and like after the first like maybe 3 albums, I would have loved to see him. I would have loved to see him at WrestleMania at that time, but it wasn't to be. But I really hope that he gets to perform at WrestleMania at some point. Also, he just became a grandfather too. His grandson's name is Elliot Marshall. Uh, I forget the last name. The last name of his daughter's husband, but yeah, Eminem just became a grandfather. So yeah, congratulations to Eminem. Coming in at number 7, the New Kids on the Block. Yep, Danny, Donnie, Joey, Jordan, and Jonathan. Now, of course, Donnie Wahlberg was at WrestleMania 10. That was back in '94. But at that time, New Kids, of course, they were going by OTB at that time. They were kind of going through a thing where, like, they were on tour and they had an album come out, but then, like, less and less fans were showing up, and then eventually they broke up by the end of the year. So like the New Kids fame was like really going down and stuff like that, you know. But I would love to see New Kids on the Block at WrestleMania. I would love to see them perform. As far as getting in the ring, I think the only one that would kind of like dare get in the ring would probably be Donnie Wahlberg, because Donnie is a wrestling fan. He even talked about it at online WWE online YouTube channel, and talked him and Jenny talked about how they were wrestling fans, and Donnie used to go see Rocky Johnson. Yep, The Rock's father, and him and Jenny missed each other by a year. And Jenny actually tried to get a job with WWE. She tried to get a job with WWE, and unfortunately that never happened, which is a shame. But I would love to see New Kids on the Block perform at WrestleMania, and I want to see Donnie get in the ring too. I mean, being Mr. Tough Guy and a tough guy on Blue Bloods, it's like, okay, let's see how tough you really are. Coming in at number 6, this is another one of my favorite pop singers. I mean, she is a Grammy winner. She's an actress. She got robbed for the Oscar, but well, in my opinion, she kind of got robbed. Though nothing against Zoe Saldana, but Ariana Grande. Yep, Ariana Grande. That is somebody I would love to see at WrestleMania, and I love to see her perform at WrestleMania too. And when I say perform, I don't mean just the national anthem. I don't want to see her just come out there and just sing the national anthem. I would like to see her do a song, like a real song, or sing somebody out to the ring, like what Limp Bizkit did at WrestleMania 19. I'd love to see Ariana Grande, do that. And also she's one of my favorites too. I have such a crush on her. Coming in at number 5, God's favorite quarterback, Tom Brady. Yep, Tom Brady. And that's somebody I would love to see at WrestleMania as well. I could probably see him do something physical like what Gronk did. Maybe not have like a one-on-one match, but maybe work a tag match. I would love to see Tom Brady just work a tag team match. Just to see him get in the ring and stuff. I would love that. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen an NFL player get in the ring. Football players, they just take to pro wrestling like a duck to water. Some of the best former NFL players or college football players, they've gone on to become great professional wrestlers. It's a who's who, so Tom Brady is somebody I would definitely love to see get in the ring. Speaking of athletes getting in the ring, this one wrestled at WCW at the Bash at the Beach 98, which, by the way, was my second. Yeah, it was the second WCW pay per view I ever ordered. The first one being Spring Stampede 98. It is the mailman, Karl Malone. Stockton Malone. And Karl Malone, he's also somebody I would love to see get inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think that match with DDP, that appearance itself, I think, deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And Karl Malone, he was excellent, and I heard that he was very respectful and kind to the wrestlers, and he was a big DDP fan. In fact, he would, while he was on the road, playing basketball, he would actually tape WCW Nitro. So, and he was, and one time he went to a Jazz game, and he saw DDP, and he did the bang symbol, and I would love to see him at WrestleMania. I know he's a little old in the tooth, but I would like to see him maybe do like a clothesline or an elbow. I know he probably won't be able to work a match, because of his age and stuff like that. But I'd still love to see him work a match. And speaking of which, his dance partner at Bash at the Beach 98, well, one of his dance partners, coming in at number 3, the Worm, Dennis Rodman. Yep, and Dennis Rodman is another guy who deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. His appearances in WCW, they definitely are Hall of Fame worthy. He was pretty good in the '97 Bash at the Beach, but then '98 he was still kind of good too. And Road Wild, he worked a match with Macho Man, and I heard that there were times he was kind of a bit of a jerk, and and of course by that, especially around '98, that was around the time when him and the Bulls were going for their 6th championship and stuff like that. But Dennis Rodman, he's always been around pro wrestling. He did WCW. He did TNA wrestling for a short period of time. He was actually also on Hulk Hogan's. He was on Hulk Hogan's Celebrity Wrestling, which lasted 1 season. So I can definitely see Dennis Rodman getting in the ring at WrestleMania. That's somebody I would love to see at WrestleMania, and also to be in the Hall of Fame. And Rodman's kind of crazy. He still kind of looks like in good shape. He still kind of plays basketball and stuff like that. But I would love to see Dennis like get in the ring and give a clothesline or an elbow drop to somebody just once. And coming in at number two, Mother Monster, Lady Gaga. Yep, Lady Gaga. She is someone who I would love to see at WrestleMania. I want to see her. I would like to see her like perform the national anthem. I like to see her also do like one of her songs. I think she can do a song as well, one of her songs. And she's also somebody I would love to see get in the ring as well. I would love to see Lady Gaga get in the ring. I mean, she looks in good shape. She works out and stuff like that. I could see her like working a match. That's somebody I would love to see get in the ring and wrestle as well. You know, so and finally at numero uno, and this is one that I've spoken to in the atmosphere for years, and I hope it really comes true. Lizzo. I mean, Lizzo and Charlotte Flair, and I'm gonna say it for next year. Next year, WrestleMania 41, New Orleans, Lizzo and Charlotte Flair, Triple H, make it happen. Make it happen, guys. Please make this happen. Okay? I mean, and plus Lizzo's in great shape. I mean, she's lost a lot of weight. That's somebody I can see like get in the ring with Charlotte and just fight it out. I'd love to see those two work a match, or maybe not. If not one on one, maybe a tag match. So Lizzo's protected. But I would love to see Lizzo in the ring. I want to see her wrestle. That would be so awesome. So that'd be so awesome to see her wrestle. And before I get into the top 10 for comics, I want to give my review on Dark Side of the Ring. Yep, the episode of Dark Side of the Ring on Tony Hemmel, aka Ludwig Borga. And this guy was a piece of shit. This guy was literally a piece of shit. Did he have issues? And I'm saying this as an alcoholic too, someone who has demons and stuff. He had abandonment issues, being abandoned by his father, getting put in a Swedish school when he was Finnish. Yeah, Finnish as in Finland. And, he just had a desire to be famous, comes from lack of self esteem. But the guy, but then you hear about him, like, being obsessed with Nazism. He was a neo-Nazi. He had the SSS on his calf, which WWE covered it up, and he and plus what he's did to his wife. Cheating on his first ex-wife, and you know, talking about how he didn't like gay people and stuff like that. He was just a piece of shit, and how he snuck under the radar of WWE. How he passed the smell test, I'll never know. And they tried to build him up for him and Lex Luger when Lex was in WWE. This is when Lex was doing the All American gimmick, but the crowd didn't take to it, and then he and then he went on to get injured at a house show in a match against Rick Steiner. He twisted his ankle and he was out, and then his contract was coming to an end around that time too. So yeah, I think he maybe no way, his contract wasn't up. He was only there for 6 months, and then he twisted his ankle. He didn't get in good enough shape, and also he had a bad reputation behind the scenes. He didn't interact at all with some of the wrestlers, and then it was just That was just enough for WWE to get rid of him. Yeah, it was just enough for WWE to get rid of him. Then he tried his hands at Ultimate Fighting, and he was actually Randy Couture's first opponent, and he fucked up with that one. I mean, he didn't even train until like maybe like I think it was. They said it was either three days or 2 weeks, 2 weeks before the match. And in the interview, he said like, I've never topped out before, and it's, I can. There's no man that can make me tap. Randy Couture got him in a good chokehold, and he tapped. You know, and he, tried to build himself up as tough. Being a boxer and stuff like that. And I mean, but looking at his boxing record, I mean, the guy. Put it this, and I'm gonna say this: he would have never become heavyweight champion. Okay, never. Okay, even Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson coming out of prison who destroyed Peter McNally and then would later lose 2 fights to Evander Holyfield, that Mike Tyson would have knocked him the fuck out. Okay, he would have knocked him out in 30 seconds. 30 seconds flat. And so then later on, he goes on to become a politician. He becomes a member of the parliament in Finland and spewing out more hate and stuff. And on top of that, he's a drug addict and an alcoholic. The guy was just disgusting. Just absolutely fucking disgusting. And he tried to kill himself, but then his second wife at the time, stopped him from pulling tried to stop him. The gun went off. It hit his brain, and he was never the same after that. He had cognitive troubles, and then he finally killed himself again. He finally tried to kill himself. This time he succeeded, and it was, on one hand, it is sad, but the guy was an asshole. The guy was an asshole. They say like, don't remember how a person died. Remember how he lived, and how he lived was that he was an asshole. And he even said at the end of the there's a footage of him from an interview when he was a politician. He says I don't owe anybody anything. I don't apologize for anything. And so this guy was beyond redemption. So there was no redeeming quality in him, So that's my thing on Ludwig Borga, just a piece of shit, And tomorrow's Dark Side of the Ring episode, that's going to be on Vader. And there is, most stuff about Vader I already know. But I'm still going to check out the episode, see what they cover, what they don't cover, and stuff. So it should still be pretty interesting. And now finally, my last top 10. Well, not last top 10. Well, the last top 10 for tonight. My top 10 favorite Marvel heroes. I have more of my favorite superheroes actually come from the Marvel universe than the DC universe. For DC, for me, it's Batman and Superman, but I have read other DC stories, and actually that's a lie. That's really not. I think I've read some Justice League, but other than that, it's mostly just Batman, Superman, and Teen Titans too. Yeah, Teen Titans. Coming in at number 10, Captain America. I used to have a Captain America action figure I used to play with as a kid, and then I saw a Captain America cartoon as as a kid as well. The old one from 1966. It was on VHS, and on the same one, it had the episode where he was on Spider-Man from 1981, where he was kidnapped by Doctor Doom. That's a pretty good. It's a pretty good episode if you ever find it. So, Captain America coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9, The Incredible Hulk. Loved The Incredible Hulk. As a kid, I loved the Ang Lee movie. Mostly I liked it for the special effects and the action scenes and stuff. The story, nah. But, but I also went back to read a few Incredible Hulk stories, and uh, I even watched old episodes of the Incredible Hulk TV series and the Incredible Hulk TV movies. You know, the ones with Thor and Daredevil, and those were pretty good. I used to have them on DVD, and they were excellent. So, the Incredible Hulk coming in at number 9. Number 8, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which I know some people will kill me for, but hey, it's my list. And Spider-Man, he is the franchise of Marvel Comics. I mean, he is the face of Marvel Comics, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And and reading his stories, and the ones with Todd McFarlane are just incredible. There were some good Spider-Man stories from the '80s and '90s, and the '90s, kind of leaded more towards like a little bit more of the horror, especially with Maximum Carnage, which is an incredible story. Please go back and read it if you ever get a chance. Number 7, The Merc with the Mouth, Deadpool. Deadpool is just funny. Fell in love with Deadpool since X Men Origins Wolverine, and Ryan Reynolds has done an incredible job as Deadpool, and I really hope that they bring him back. I hope we get another Deadpool movie soon. Coming in at number 6, we have Wolverine. Yep, we have Wolverine, one of my favorite characters from the X Men, and I read the first X Men story by Chris Claremont, his solo story, and it was incredible. I read Weapon X. Weapon X is like one of the best origin stories in comic book history, and and also I read the Perceptions with Spider Man. That was awesome as well. And they're actually coming out with another Spider Man and X Men story that's going to be coming out soon. I forgot to mention that. And that's going to be awesome as well. I can't wait for that. Coming in at number 5, the X Men. I love the cartoon show, and I started reading the comics as well. I knew of the comics, but I never read them. But now I've gotten more into them. With Dark Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix saga, God Loves, Man Kills, and also I have Days Features Past. I'm about to read that one as well. So I just love X Men. It's just the best. I really love their stories. Coming in at number 4, we have Elektra. Yep. I've read Elektra Assassin, Black, White, and Blood is incredible as well. I really want to read some other Elektra stories as well, because Elektra is just a freaking badass. I just love this girl. She's incredible. Coming in at number 3, we have her boyfriend Daredevil. And Daredevil, is amazing, being a blind superhero but overcomes stuff. He is just amazing. And I actually have a friend who's blind named Cassandra, which, by the way, hi Cassandra. Hey girl, what's up? Yep, she's at Center Club. And she's blind. And from the first day I met her, my nickname for her has been Daredevil. Because she actually wears the actual aviator sunglasses that Daredevil wears, and she has a cane as well, and she can fight too. She can fight. She can box. I've seen her take the punching bag right off its hinges. So she is she is one tough cookie, I tell you. She is a real life Daredevil. You definitely don't want to fight her, but. But yeah, go read the Daredevil stories, and I haven't watched the new Daredevil series in a while. I gotta get caught up on those episodes as well as the other old episodes as well. But Born Again, Man Without Fear, again one of the best origin stories in comic book history. there's some great Daredevil shit, and I love it. Coming in at number two, we have The Punisher. One of my favorites as a kid. I remember the Punisher video game for Nintendo, and then I heard about him as a comic book hero. I saw him in I saw him in video games. I saw comics, but I never read them. And I saw the Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren. I saw it on TV, and I was like, "Wow, there was a Punisher movie," and that movie was dope. All time best Punisher movie. I would put that number one, Warzone number two, and the one with Thomas Jane and John Travolta at number three. But also the Punisher stories are awesome as well. Circle of Blood is a great story, as well as Welcome Back Frank. Welcome Back Frank I actually read back when I was in high school. That was one of the graphic novels I used to carry around in my bag, as a kid. So definitely want to pick that up if you ever get a chance. And finally, coming in at numero uno, we have Blade, the Daywalker. Yep, I love Blade. Half human, half vampire. I got into Blade because of the movies. Wesley Snipes just did an awesome job. And I also, then soon started getting into. I wanted to dive more into his history in the comics. I got the Tomb of Dracula's. I still haven't picked up Marvel Masterworks Tomb of Dracula Volume 3. What am I waiting for? Wait, did I get Volume 3? Wait, do I have Volume 3? Wait, I'm just looking real quick. Yeah, I think I do have. Yeah, I do have Volume 3. I didn't get Volume 4. Yeah, I still haven't picked up Volume 4, and Volume 5 is coming up soon, so TikTok. But yeah, I've also read like Day of Blood, Night of Redemption. I have the Night Stalkers comics. I got like the first few issues of the Blade comics from '94. I do have Rise of the Midnight Suns, Epic Collection, and I'm still waiting on Siege of Darkness. At the comic book store that I ordered from, but I'm also going to check other comic book stores to see if they have it as well. And yep, that's about it. That will do it. And tomorrow we're going to be looking at some classic WrestleMania matches. Yep, WrestleMania Tuesday. And yeah, that's about it. And we got another episode on Thursday. And next week is the final week of the Wrestling with Comics 3 episodes. Yeah, 3 episodes a week. No wait. Wow. I'm losing my mind. I'm tired. Yeah, I gotta go to sleep. Yeah, 3 times a week. Yeah, 3 times a week episodes. So, that'll be it. And yep, I hope you all be safe, be well, and also try to get some sleep as well if you're out there, because sleep is important. And until then, this is Matthew Burris saying, toodaloo, motherfuckers.